Hello, there I am, a normal kid that liked Teletubbies, so I'm going to tell you, I live in Richmond, Virginia, so here am I going to tell you the story of how I'm scared of Teletubbies now. One day I was cleaning up my attic when I found a box filled with VHS tapes. I was surprised because I never have seen these whenever I was cleaning my attic, probably because it was covered by a bunch of other objects, like clothes, old dishes, from the 60s and so on. But one of the tapes was strange, had no copyright year on the VHS, it had nothing, the only thing that it had was scribbled on with a black marker with the words Dipsy dies. Strange, because I never remembered this tape while cleaning my attic 5 years before finding the tape, probably because I never saw this in the first place. I also searched through to see if there are any other weird ones, but they all were normal old tapes from old TV shows. After I was done cleaning, I took the tape and went down to my VHS player because I had nothing else to do. I already finished cleaning. I also put back the boxes that I took out and put them back to where they were. I grabbed my VHS player and put it in my living room. I plugged in the VHS player and put the VHS into the VHS player. The normal FBI warning came up, issuing like copyright infringement law and like that and so on. Then the Kellogg's ad with that sunflower with the sun rising after fully grows. I was starting to remember this. It was probably Teletubbies. Then I was predicted came true. It was the Teletubbies sun baby came up normally. The voice trumpets, and the narrator told, I was over the hills and far away. Teletubbies came to play. Didn't the intro was normal, but then on the episode title came up it said Dipsy dies, with the winds being blood red in the background is dark grey. It also had the same time name scribbled on it with a black marker. The episode begins with Dipsy, not at his house, but at the hospital, on his deathbed. I was screaming, why is he on a deathbed? He's only 18. All the Teletubbies were there, sitting in the waiting room. Tinky Winky, the manliest man, started to cry. How does she? Doesn't know what's happening, so she's just stumbling back and forth. Lala was scared, she doesn't know what's happening. Then there's a flashback to what was probably in the morning. Tinky Winky was getting up to go to work when he heard a big crash come from the bathroom. He ran to the bathroom and saw Dipsy foaming from the mouth with drugs in his hand. I said to myself, is Dipsy trying to commit suicide after you saw that? Thank you. When you screamed as loud as he could. Tinky Winky picked Dipsy up, still foaming from the mouth. He alerted Lala and P.O. to wake up. They then ran out of the house into her car and drove to the hospital, and then the flashback ends. A doctor came in and said that they could come in. Thank you. Tinky Winky. Lala P.O. went into Dipsy hospital room. Seeing him made everyone shocked. Dipsy says, I love you guys, but I'm probably not gonna make it. Tinky Winky said, no, you'll make it, you can't die. He says, and took too many medications, and now my stomach can't handle all the medication, so it's failing. I'm going to die. You can't stop it, said Dipsy. Oh hell, you're not going to die, we're going to suck that shit right out of you. Of Lala says, well, if I never did this in the first place I wouldn't be going to die. I'm sorry, but I have to. I'm going to die because of all the medication I did. I wasn't even trying to commit suicide, I've just forgotten how many I'm supposed to take. Thank you all. Tinky Winky was shocked. You overdosed by accident, while screaming at Dipsy with tears in his eyes. Yes, I am so sorry, I am an idiot. What the hell, why did this go from nice to freaking death threats? Because I'm going to die, you stupid, said Dipsy. Not Lala rounds out screaming, saying that he should just shut his damn mouth and leave me alone. She said she breaks a glass window while running. Thank you. When Tinky Winky sits down on a chair, Dipsy, comforting him until he takes his final words. He then dies. Thank you. And he starts crying and heads out the door. For 5 minutes. It's just an animation of Tinky Winky walking all the way back to his house. Tinky Winky is sitting at the table and sad. He doesn't want to live anymore. He decides to go grab a gun from his bedroom. After he grabs the gun, he grabs a piece of paper and writes a suicide note. It says, Dear Lala and P, if you find my head exploded open with blood oozing everywhere, that's probably because I shot myself. Goodbye world. Also take care of the Teletubbies for me. Well, I'm dead. I'm never gonna see you guys again. I will miss you. He then drops her there onto the paper and grabs the gun and puts his gun in his mouth, pulls the trigger. Brain matter and blood goes everywhere on the windows and behind where he sits to eat tubby custard. Lala saw this all and screamed. She ran outside with a rope and grabbed onto a tree and tied into a noose, but Po pushed her out of the way. In time she ended up falling into a cliff and died. Was shocked. She was the only one living. She realized that the noose is still there. She puts her head around the new sun, kicks the stool, and the episode ends right after she kicks the stool, and for the last 30 seconds, it just zooms and slowly onto Po's sad face. Goes black. Then the episode ends. I ejected the VHS and burned it, and now I am scared of Teletubbies. 2 days later, the strange man came to my door, wearing all black, and asked for the VHS. I told him I burned it. He went, oh, okay, and then leaves. Probably the strangest thing in my life. Makes me